Okay, so I've got the bike warmed up and I've come to the high school parking lot. It's not too big, but I think it's big enough to get up a little bit of speed, and I'm going to use this line as a stop line. Okay, so I'm going to try just rear brake. So we're a little over 35. And I feel it pulsing. You could hear a little bit of a skid. So I'm almost to this line. I'm about 18 inches from that line. Let's do another round. Okay, so that's about 35. Weight back, brake locked. That was about 4 inches shorter this time. Okay, that's about 35. Both brakes, weight back. So that was pretty good. Take this screwdriver and I'm going to set it right about, actually I'm going to do it right about where the contact patch is, which should be about there. Okay, about 35, and a hard brake. Okay, so we're a little shorter. We're about a foot shy of where we were before. You know what, let me mark that. And we'll try to work our way back. That's about even, so that's our stop line. Let me grab the tape measure. This is only a 30-foot tape measure. And this distance is pretty darn large. That's 29. So that's 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Just over 38 feet. Let's do another run. I'm going to be a little less progressive and a little more, oh crap, emergency braking, slam them on. And I'm using pretty equal pressure on both the front and the rear, and I can feel the rear pulsating with the ABS. Okay, that's about 35. Weight back and a slam. So that was quite a bit shorter this time. Look at that. That was pretty good. Let me mark that. This was 29, so we're back down to like 20, 28 or something. Do a couple more runs real quick. On the big bike, I'm usually up on the pegs and shifting my butt way back. On this, I'm just kind of, the position doesn't encourage you to stand up and get back like I did just there, kind of halfway. But there's a little bit less front end compression with the emergency braking on this compared to my quote unquote regular motorcycle. So the shifting of the weight, I don't know, I almost feel like it doesn't make as much difference on this. It's about 35. Okay, so I'm coming in pretty consistently in this range. This seems like it's kind of about the average of what I'm doing. And if that was 29, that's 30, 31, 32, 33, 30, about 34 feet. And I'm going about 35 miles an hour when I do it. Let's see what happens if I drop the speed to about 20. 20, that's about 20. So at 20 miles an hour, I mean, I'm not even one bike length. That's only about a little less than 3 feet. So the difference between 20 and 35 is pretty dramatic. Let's do one at 25 and then one at 30. Okay, this is 25. What's the distance look like here? So front's right about there. And that's just a little bit more than a bike length. That's probably bike length and a half, a little less than 2 from 25. Do one at about 30. That's about 30. So another bike length, roughly, right? So that was 5 miles an hour, and then 35, that puts us back about where we were. So it seems to be about, so from 20 to 35, each increase in 5 miles an hour is about 1 bike length of stopping distance, it seems. When you're going slower than 20 or 20 or slower, you're stopping within about a length of a bike length, I think. This is, let me get 20. This is 20 right here. That's a little bit less than a bike length, yeah. So I think let me see if I can do one at 40. That's about 40. And see where we are. How do we compare? So we are, that was 29. So that's 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40, 41, 42. So just under 42 feet from 40 miles an hour. Okay, so that was kind of a fun little test. Wasn't sure if he was going to stop. I had some fun just messing around in the parking lot. So now we know a top speed and we've got a braking distance. In terms of the braking on here, you know, I would say that it's not super strong. The braking distance is longer than I would want it to be, particularly above 30 miles an hour. I'll just sort of take that into account as I ride. I will adjust my behavior. But in terms of controllability, I think it's very, very good. You know, compared to my big motorcycle, the ABS on this feels, you know, even though you feel in the rear brake, the left brake handle, you feel the pulsing of the ABS. It controls the skid very well. The wheel did not skid or skidded very, very little. I think in one of those stops I had a little bit of skid from the front wheel, and I suspect it was just the loose stuff on the parking lot, a little bit of sand and grit and whatnot, and it was sort of a momentary loss of traction in the front. But from a stability standpoint and a controllability standpoint, I would say that the level of control was very, very high. You can just grab a handful of these brakes and you do not have to worry at all about, you know, doing an endo, going over the bars, anything like that. You know, the weight's low. There's not a lot of compression in the front end, not a lot of dive when you do engage the front brakes. And so from a control standpoint, that's a really good thing. You feel like you feel very stable. You don't feel like you're going to fall over, you know, side to side. and it just feels like a very controlled braking situation. So in that regard, I'm very happy with it. So hope you guys got something out of this, and like, subscribe, and I will talk to you later.